The Cavs, back to the game on Friday, beat the brakes off the Knicks. I mean, an absolute demolition derby of the team that's currently sitting in third place in the Eastern Conference. When you look at the big picture in the Eastern Conference, guys, and Bull, you can lead us off on this one because you and I talked about this on the side. Is it a two-team race? Is it Boston, Cleveland, and then everyone else? Or could there be a secret hidden threat to the Cavs in the Eastern Conference outside of just the Celtics?
I know that the Cavs have handled the Knicks very well, and if the Cavs did play the Knicks, which would probably be in the Eastern Conference Final, meaning the Knicks had upset the Celtics, then of course I got to take them seriously. I mean, they're going to win 50-plus games this year, maybe 55. So they're legit. Now, are the Cavs much better? I think they are. But I still would give the Knicks at least a puncher's chance of beating the Cavs in the series. And a puncher's chance is not 40%, but they're the only team besides the Celtics that I would give a legitimate chance to beat the Cavs. Again, not a high chance. It's only 2 games that they've played, and one of them was early in the season. I think if the Knicks are fully healthy in the playoffs, they could give the Cavs – I think the Cavs would win the series, but I think it would be a tough, hard-fought series, and the Knicks would be right there. So, no, I think the Cavs and Celtics are better, but I think the Knicks are a level above the rest of the teams in the East. And so I still think they're a legitimate contender, but certainly lower level than Cavs and Celtics.
Man, listen, the playoffs is like bullfighting, man. Everybody's a threat when you get in the ring. Everybody. Who cares what they talking about in the regular season? Just the other year ago, Indiana went to the Eastern Conference Finals. You talk about Milwaukee, they got 2 players that can go off and destroy a series with Dame Dollar and Giannis. You take a look at the Knicks. They got Brunson. They got guys. They got Bridges. Those guys, you forget. They've only been together for a little part of the year.
Still have Josh Hart.
They still got Josh Hart. OG is back. They got to get things, but you always got to take in consideration that's a very tough place to play. Anytime you got to go to Madison Square Garden, and then you put up any of those teams right there. None of those teams, and I would even put Orlando in that mix. Those teams are not afraid to go on the road and win those games, especially not the Celtics. The Celtics remind me of the old Cavs with their mentality. They've already won. They got guys that have been through the battles with Tatum and Brown. They have won some games, lost some games, won some series they weren't supposed to, and lost series they weren't supposed to. So all of these teams got bona fide guys that are on the U.S. team, all-stars, all-pros, all NBA guys. Yeah, I think the Cavs, and Donovan says this all the time, we have not won nothing. We got a nice record. That's cool. The Cavs are the least. Think about this. The Cavs on this list have won the least amongst all these teams. Milwaukee's won championships before. The Pacers have been to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks already done beat up on the Cavs in the playoffs. The Celtics are the defending champs. The Cavs got a nice record. But listen, that is only regular season. They proved nothing in the postseason, and they better be locked in for whoever they play all the way to the finals. Like they can't rest on nothing.
Yeah, I tend to look at this as it's a 2-horse race. It's the Cavs and the Celtics. However, I've been covering sports long enough to know that there are instances where Mind That Bird at a 50-1 long shot, the longest of long shots, wins the Kentucky Derby. It happens. I think this year.
But I don't look at the Knicks as a 50-1 long shot.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can't throw anyone out of the field.
Yeah.
Look at Detroit. I'm not picking Detroit to win a playoff series.
31-26.
Detroit is. It's astounding what they're doing there.
Crazy. No,
with our guy.
Crazy.
JB's done an amazing job. And I bring them up to say this: they're a solid middle of the road NBA team. They're not a fluke. He's doing this the right way, slow build. But we've talked about progressions in the NBA. The Cavs missed the playoffs 3 years ago, lost in the play-in game. 2 years ago, they made the playoffs, and they lost in the first round, despite having a better record, to the New York Knicks. Last year, they made it to the semifinals of the East before losing to the Boston Celtics. On that progression chart, they're supposed to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, particularly when you look at the fact that they have a 6-game lead over the 2 seed, the defending champion Celtics. I do look at this as a two-horse race, but I'm not naive enough to say that somebody couldn't slip in and screw that up. They've done seedings for 1,000,000 years, 1 and 2. I don't know, Mike. I'd like to. I don't know if you can look this up quickly. How many years are the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals 1 versus 2? And how many years does a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or even a 6 slip in that mix and upset the apple cart?
Well, the Cavs with LeBron a couple times were not in the top 2.
Right. It happens.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it would be naive to say, well, the Celtics are the best team and the Cavs are the second best team, so they're going to go to the finals.
1 and 2 seeds predominantly, like significantly.
75%? Would you say?
So this is okay. Number 1 seeds have reached the finals 90 times, have a 58% win percentage in the finals. Number 2 seeds.
So the majority of the time, they close the deal.
Number 2 seeds have made the finals 39 times.
Ooh.
3 seeds, 16, 4th seed 5 times, 5th seed 2 times, 6th
so
seed
it's
2 times.
it's the big drop-off is at the 2 seed.
1 seeds and 2 seeds are significant. Yeah, 1 seed's the
One
most.
seed's significantly better than 2's.
More, and then it's a gigantic drop off.
So here's what I'll say. Let's hope that form holds true. If that form holds true,
Yeah.
the Cavs win the East and play in the NBA championship.
I would bet, though, Mike, if you look this up, that not right now, but I think the lower seeds, not like 6 or 7, but I bet you that 3 and 4 have even 5 have gone to at least the conference finals way more often in the last 20 years than before that.
Yeah, I wasn't talking
Because
about the
guys
NBA finals. I was talking about specifically Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. How often is it 1 versus 2?
Because veteran teams don't play in the regular season like they did back in the day.
Yeah,
So
recently you're right.
You're more likely, I think, to get a 3 or 4 seed now at least in the conference finals.
Well, look at last
than
year.
you were in past years.
What was Indy last year? 4?
Indy last year was the 6th seed. I'm looking into more of this deeper.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 seeds have made up 97.4% of NBA champions.
Yeah, look at the or the conference championships though.
Conference championships.
Yeah, it's like last year.
Just in the East, the last few
Pacers
years.
as a 6 snuck in there.
I mean,
that's why I brought up the Pistons.
The Heat in 2023 went to the finals.
Yes,
They were 8.
yes, they did as the 8. I think that's the first time
Well, the
that's ever happened.
Mavericks were a 5 seed last year too.
So I bring all that up to say, yeah, I mean, if you're betting odds, you're going to take the 1s and the 2s. But mind that bird winning the Kentucky Derby. No one saw it coming. Like, it wasn't even a 1, 2, 3, or 4. It was the last pick in the race, and it won. So if you're in the playoffs, you have a chance. And what scares me about, not scares me, but what would be interesting to watch about the Pistons this year is sometimes you hear this saying a lot. They're too dumb to know they're not supposed to be here.
I think that was what I was going to say is if I'm looking at the Cavs, I want them to win it this year before it sets in. I want them to win before because the pressure ratchets it up. Like if you get to the wherever you're going to get, and say for instance they play the Celtics in the finals and they got the Celtics down 3-1. But then they let the Celtics come back and you feel like they let it slip. And then next year, you go into next year and it's like, okay, this year 2 Atkinson, couple of guys take a step back. Here's an injury there, or here's an injury here.
Yeah.
Now you're looking around, you're like, okay, well, we didn't win it this year. For me, I would rather them get the Denver Nuggets out of the like the Nuggets, like they were playing at a level. Jamal Murray was balling. Porter was great. Caldwell Pope played out of his mind, and they won the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Denver never won a championship again for the next 5 or 6 years. Right. Like, this is the way it is. So
get it when you can
get it while you get it. Like, and I hope the Cavs can catch a couple people slipping and get to a point where it's like, at least we got that out the way.
Yeah, I'm for that. But, 1s and 2s aren't rubber stamped.
Nope.
Every year.
And I don't like it. And Jason Lloyd says it. Milwaukee, man, look.
They're lurking.
Giannis is Giannis. And Dame, we've seen him send people home from half court. We've seen it. I'm not so much worried about the Pacers a little bit. Now, now, if you ask me which team would you love to see, I would love to catch the Knicks in one of these in the finals, except for the Celtics. That's the point I'm trying to figure out.
Oh well, yeah, because then the behemoth is gone.
Can the Celtics? What's the toughest path the Celtics could go through that we can hope for?
Well, they're probably going to play the Knicks in the second
Right
round.
now, it will be the Knicks if that holds.
What we have to hope for, G, to put the Celtics through hell.
Yeah, I like that.
Is that
7-game series that draws blood.
Yeah.
All right, so we need Orlando to get the 6th seed and Miami to somehow be the 7th seed and win that first play-in game, because Miami always gives Boston. It's the Spo curse. Now, it's not the same Miami team.
Because it ain't got buckets.
They don't have Jimmy Butler. I get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Miami's not going out without a fight. They take Boston a 6 or 7. Boston has to play the Knicks in the second round. Those two teams beat each other up.
Yeah, they can get a pound of flesh out of Boston.
By the way, in the Eastern Conference, last year, obviously, the Celtics were the top seed. They went and won the championship. The 4 years before that, the number 1 seed in the East did not go to the finals. Wow. It was the Miami Heat were 8. Boston the year before was a 2 seed. Milwaukee, when they won the championship, was a 3 seed. And then Miami again in the COVID year, I think, was the 5 seed.
That was the bubble.
Wow.
Yeah. So 4 years in a row, and in fact, 3 of the last 5 Eastern Conference or NBA championship team from the East was a 3rd seed or lower.
That's interesting.
3 of the last 5.
All right, we talked about the Guardians. Let's do a